First of all, in terms of Nepo babies, my kids will both be them. Whatever door they want to open, I'm opening them because I had nobody in this industry. We are talking all about Nepo babies. This phrase just exploded over the Christmas break, and New York Magazine went in and got detailed about all of the, and by the way, a Nepo baby is the child of a famous person or someone who's got connections. So it's about nepotism, right?
Yeah.
Correct. And so New York Magazine went in and did this detailed sort of list of all of the children that have famous people in Hollywood. Some we knew, like Hailey Bieber. Some we did not know, like, oh, that's their parents.
Yeah.
And for me, what was interesting, well, I'm going to get into what I thought about it in a second, but if you were a parent, you're a parent, I'm a parent, and you have a child that wants to get in and have the door open for them, like, Sarah, would you help? Would you help your kids?
Have you seen my kids on TV? Last time they were on, they're like, okay.
Yes, but when they were much younger.
If they show talent and promise and interest, sure, I'll open the door for them. But the thing I think about this is that, sure, someone might open the door for you, but it's your work and what you produce that keeps that door open for you, or at least I hope that's how it works, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Brian, what do you think?
I think it does. I think you can get an introduction, but you have to work double.
Yeah.
As hard as anybody else, because everyone's scrutinizing you and saying, do they really deserve this role? So I think you have to, if you really want to succeed, if you're lazy, you're out. But you have to work harder, because I think there's a lot of pressure on them.
Okay, interesting. What do you think, Lorraine?
I would help my kids, but sometimes they don't want the help. You know, sometimes your kids, you think they've got some talent and you want to get them help, but actually they're like, yeah, you can't lead a horse to water and make them drink.
Yeah.
So sometimes they don't. But, you know, some of the older babies, like Jane Fonda, she famously recognized that her father helped her get where she was, but she was really super talented. Sometimes people are not as talented as they perhaps should be. And
so many things came up out of that. So first of all, in terms of Nepo babies, my kids will both be them. Whatever door they want to open, I'm opening them because I had nobody in this industry. I had not one contact, not a friend, not a family member who could tell me anything about the broadcast world. So I would open all those doors. I think what's interesting about the article is that there was this reluctance to claim that any help was involved. And that's where I get that's where I get sticky about it.
Yeah.
You are in a privileged position. Nepotism is kind of like privilege in the sense that no one's saying you're not talented, but in Hollywood, having the door open almost is the whole game.
Yes.
Like, someone opened that, getting the door opened is 90% of the game.
Yeah.
And I actually disagree. I don't think you have to try harder. I think you should, but I don't necessarily think that the standards are the same for you, because if you fail, you will probably get a second chance and a third chance and a fourth chance because of those connections.
Do you think? I think it's,
I do.
You think so? Or do you think the rumor spreads that this one was just lazy and they didn't work hard and don't waste your time?
I think they try, they will, if it's your parent, I know how I feel about my kid. My kid's getting as many chances as they need to get back up on their feet. Like, that's sort of, you want to help them and protect them and get them in the door, and you want them to work hard and not be lazy, but I also think that they are in a position where they actually can fail. Like, if I were to fail and I had no contacts in the industry, like, I'm done, right? So, but I also think that this whole idea of ragging on Nepo babies is silly, because who wouldn't help their kids?
Absolutely.
We all would.
Absolutely.
And who wouldn't want a door opened for them? I mean, if we think about how we all got on Cityline, for example, like I had a door open. Leanne introduced me to the show, and that's how I got on here. So like, I feel everyone should have a door open for them. You should help other people who are wanting to do what you do.
Yes.
And then it's up to them to prove themselves or not.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's on you either.
Yeah.
And
whether
network.
or not they do.
That's everybody. Just find out who can help you get to where you want.
That's right.
And prove that you are deserving of it.
Yeah.
And you know, there's no shame in admitting that you had help.
No.
There isn't one person anywhere that hasn't had some help to get in there. I had to have help to be told, well, you should audition for Cityline. It's not something I would have ever thought of. So someone help me. So anyways, I think it's interesting, the fixation about Nepo babies, but I also think the fixation would go away if the Nepo babies would just be like, yeah, you're right, I got all the help.
100%.